The children's message we are about to hear is a story written by Diane Gibfried. It's called Brother Juniper. Brother Juniper was a holy friar. He lived in the hills of Assisi with Father Francis and 7 other brothers. They worked together. They prayed together. Sometimes they begged for food. Sometimes they had none. Brother Juniper was the most generous of the brothers. Father Francis loved him because he was simple. The other brothers knew he was good, but some of them thought he was silly. This was because Brother Juniper was often naked. If someone asked him for his robe, Brother Juniper would gladly give it to him, even if it was a cold day and even if it was snowing. One day, Father Francis said, "Brother Juniper, we are going out to preach. Will you stay home and watch the chapel?" "Yes," said Brother Juniper. Well, the other brothers were worried about leaving Brother Juniper at the chapel. They knew how generous he could be. But they did as Father Francis told them and headed down the mountain. Brother Juniper waved goodbye. First, he prayed for a while, and then he cleaned. He polished the golden candlesticks. He dusted the golden chalice. He washed the embroidered altar cloth. He scrubbed the door. And the stained glass windows. Until the whole chapel was shiny and bright. Then he sat down for a minute to rest when dun, 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 dun. Knock, knock, knock. "Hello," said Brother Juniper. A poor old man stood outside. "Can you help me?" said the old man. "I am so old that I am losing my sight. I can't see well enough to work at my job repairing shoes. And soon I will go hungry." Brother Juniper picked up the golden candlesticks. "Take these," he said, "sell them, and then you can buy some spectacles." "Well, thank you," said the old man, and he went on his way. Brother Juniper was very glad that he could help. He was singing about it when dun, 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 dun. Knock, knock, knock. Brother Juniper opened the door. A woman and her 8 children stood outside. "Hello," said Brother Juniper. "Can you help me?" said the woman, not old. "My kids are sick, but we don't have any money to buy medicine." Brother Juniper handed her the golden chalice. "If you sell this, you can afford to see the doctor." "Thank you," the woman said, and she went on her way. Brother Juniper was glad that he had cleaned everything that morning. Word must have spread fast. All day long, Brother Juniper was busy giving things away. He gave the altar cloths to a baker. A baker. To cover her basket of warm bread. He even gave the door to a family whose house had been wrecked in a storm. By evening, there were no walls, no windows, and no door. Nothing except Brother Juniper and his broom. Until a cleaning woman came and said, "Knock, knock, no door, never mind, no knock. Brother Juniper, I have no broom and I can't sweep." So Brother Juniper gave her his broom, and she was shivering, so he gave her his robe. And she was happy. When the other brothers came home, they found Brother Juniper standing naked in an empty hole. "Where is the church?" one shouted. "You've torn it down," cried another. "You have ruined our church. Where will we worship?" Brother Juniper was sad. He hid himself, and he didn't come out until Sunday, because on Sunday, it was his job to ring the bell. But he had given the bell to a teacher who wanted to start a school. So Brother Juniper stood on a rock and shouted, "Ding! Ding! Ding!" All the brothers came with long faces. They were standing in the hole together when over the hill came an old man with new spectacles. And after him came a woman with 8 smiling children. And after her came a baker and a cleaning woman. And the baker shared her bread. And a teacher with a group of school children. And their parents. And their grandparents. A huge crowd gathered around Brother Juniper. Everyone was smiling, and one child said, "We just came to say thank you." The other brothers looked at the crowd and were amazed. When Father Francis arrived, he put his arm around Brother Juniper and smiled a great big smile. "Just look at the fine church that Brother Juniper built. I wish I had a forest of these junipers." The end. Let's clap. Give them a round of applause. Thank you, Agnes.